Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video, I'll be going over the OTA session that the Washington Commanders had today, going over some of the biggest takeaways, including Joe Whitt already making a difference in my opinion, also going over some clips from Jayden Daniels and others, and just some other updates in general. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well. All those things help out a ton, and comment down below the coach you are most excited to see this year in terms of what they do to their position group or their side of the ball. So let's get right into it. Show you guys the Joe Whitt clip midway through the video in a little bit, but I really like what he had to say today during practice, but just some other stuff. So Dan Quinn talked earlier in the before OTA started, addressed the Brandon McManus situation, said they didn't know until like 2 days before it got leaked. And, besides that, I didn't really listen to the rest of it. It doesn't really matter. The Commanders have a new kicker. Didn't make a video about that, but I'll talk about that in a second. Was at a Nats game yesterday when the news, or around, I was leaving around when the news broke, I believe. Jayden Daniels had 11-11, or they was doing 11-11 sessions today. He had a deep completion down the left sideline, and now did some red zone work where the offense struggled last week. Here's the new kicker, Ahmed, I think. I forgot what his first name is, but drills one from 45, I believe, and Tressways has the number 10, which is weird to see. I think he's like trying out numbers. We'll see what he ends up actually sticking with. Rough series for offense, and Daniels throwing out back to the end zone intentionally on second down, which that I'll live with that. I'd much rather Jayden Daniels do that than taking a sack or throwing in harm's way. But the next play would have been picked on third down on underthrown corner fade, but apparently I think the cornerback dropped that pass, so or dropped the interception. So maybe not the best day for Jayden, but also he could, if he wanted to, rely on his feet a little bit more, but he's trying to do it the right way, at least right now, and staying in the pocket. But once the games start and even preseason and stuff like that, he'll be able to move outside the pocket, scramble a little bit. But in these practices, they don't love to have the quarterback scramble a lot. They just really don't. So let's move. Let's go over some other things. Actually, I'll go to Zach Selby here. So guys they were doing special teams drills. These were some of the guys that were returning: Casimir Allen, Forbes, Eckler, Milne, Tyler Owens, who I believe is a undrafted free agent, Jahan Dotson, Austin Jones, undrafted free agent, Davian Davis, Mike Sanderstill, Jeremy McNichols, Demir Bird, and Brian Robinson. So a lot of guys that are just getting in a lot of work. And I don't out of all these guys, the people I think have the most realistic chance to actually get work in at returner, Casimir Allen. I'm surprised Crowder wasn't on this list at all. Maybe they already know he can do it. But Casimir Allen is a guy that could return. Dax Milne, he did it for them. So if they need to, he can do it. Jahan, I feel like, can do it. And those are really the main guys. Demir Bird, I believe, did it as well a little bit in the last few years and in Arizona. So he's a guy to watch out for. 11v11, Mariota had a pass to Ertz. So they said first play of 11-11. Interesting to see that. I guess Mariota is the first one getting reps, but I'm assuming they're both getting reps with the ones. 2 plays in, and the biggest thing I've noticed how much communication is happening on both sides of the ball. That's a coaching thing that wasn't happening at least the last year here under Bieniemy, Rivera, and Jack Del Rio. Zach Selby says it's the closest thing we've been to Daniels or seen to Daniels facing an NFL pass rush. Although it's still just June, doesn't look like Daniels is bothered though. Goes through his progressions, has nice footwork, and zips the ball to his targets. And then Joe Whitt talked. There was a clip I wanted to show you guys. Jayden Daniels to Zach Ertz. So good to see that there. I'll show you guys one more time. And you see there, I think that's Cole turn on the left. But there's a nice pass. And makes the catch. And hey, Zach Ertz is going to be a little bit of a security blanket for Jayden Daniels this year. Let's go over some other things. I guess I'll show you guys the clip from Joe Whitt. I really like this answer. So hopefully the volume is good and everything. But let's go ahead, trying to move it up to max. Okay, it is at max. But here's his, he was just talking about, I think maybe asked about starters. I didn't hear the question, but here's his response.
We don't have 11 starters, okay? You're going to put this down, so don't ask me who's starting here. We have 17 to 18 guys. We're going to go out there. We're going to roll a deep crew and to go out there and whip people, okay? So we don't have 11 guys. We have many personnel groups, and now can they own those positions when we put them in there? So when that comes, don't ask me about who's starting, please. We don't.
All right, so you see there, I really liked his, statement there, basically saying, we don't have 11 starters. We got 17 to 18 guys. So don't ask me who's going to be the starter because a lot of these guys are going to be in and out of the lineup. So I would say guys like, we know some of them, they're going to be starters. John Allen, Deron Payne, they're starters. There's levels to it. There's some guys that are, they're there, like 5-6 guys that are, rarely going to be off the field. Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, Jeremy Chin. But then there's a lot of guys that I see as more rotational guys that are going to be in and out of the lineup, maybe at different positions too, like Jayden Daniels. Could see him at linebacker sometimes, could see him at edge, and then also sometimes maybe he's not playing. Quan Martin, same thing. Could see him in and out of the lineup. Derek Forrest, same thing. Percy Butler, if he makes it, same thing. Some of the cornerbacks, you could see the same thing there. Mike Sainristil. If he looks good in camp and preseason, he'll be starting. He won't get out much, but if he's looking like decent or okay, then there might be some snaps where he's off the field or in a different position. So I like this answer by Joe Whitt. He has a lot of good energy, and I think he could be a head coach in a couple years if things go well here in Washington. He hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities. This is his first big opportunity in terms of being a coordinator. So if he does well here, then he has a chance to be a head coach. It's not like he's like a guy who's been a coordinator for a long time and hasn't moved up. This is his first year right here. If he does well and stays here another year after that and has a good year, then hey, maybe he gets a head coaching job, in the next few years. We will see. But I'm liking what I'm hearing from Joe Whitt and company. Let's see. I'm going to go over we'll go over this right here from JP Finley. So Jayden Daniels says he's liking the new staff and new roles, including coming off the edge. I feel like it lets me cut it loose and getting after some QBs. So see his response there. I think that's like the first time he's really talked about it. We heard it like a couple weeks ago. He's getting work in. Sorry about the stuttering there. He was getting work in at edge rusher, doing some individual drills there. So they're continuing that, and I'm interested to see how much he actually plays there. But he has a skill set. Maybe needs to put on a little bit of weight, but I think he's got the skill set to rush the quarterback. Maybe not every down. At least right now, definitely not every down. But 10, 15 plays a game, for sure, he has the ability to do that. Emmanuel Forbes also talked, he's trying to gain some weight. So good that he said he's trying to, and, he's got time. So from now to training camp, if he can even gain 3-4 pounds of good weight, that could make a difference for sure. But hey, we're not going to focus on that. I made a video about that a week or two ago, and yeah, it's up to Forbes now and this coaching staff to get the best out of him. Tyler Biadasz talked and said he really likes Dan Quinn as a big reason why he came to Washington. Zacchaeus, the receiver from Atlanta and Philly, played at UVA. Wide receiver number 4, probably right now. It's hard to tell. I mean, Jahan and Terry or Terry's 1, Jahan's 2, and then after that you got Luke McCaffrey, who's talented, but I don't know how much he's gonna be ready year 1, but he could be number 3. And then you got guys like Diami, Zacchaeus, Bird, Crowder that are fighting for those other spots. See Jeremy Chin there. A lot of guys were talking today. You see Jayden Daniels there again. Andrew Wiley was talking. So those are really the main things from today. And there's a couple other quotes from Joe Whitt that I'll read because I know the title probably has Joe Whitt in it. He's like the energy and excitement from the players. And I think he does a good job of bringing energy and excitement from the players. Jack Del Rio, he could get loud at times, but seems for the most part like he was pretty chill on the sideline, doesn't really bring a lot of energy. You saw Chris Harris, though, a couple years ago. Last year, the Commanders didn't have him. But a couple years ago when he was here, bringing a lot of energy out of the DBs, and the DBs actually did really well. So I think that is very important. And I don't think Joe Whitt's at that level of energy that Chris Harris is, but definitely more than Jack Del Rio. And I think that is a medium between Harris and Del Rio is probably the perfect spot for you as a coordinator, especially. There's nothing wrong with a lot of energy as a position coach, but I think as a coordinator, you probably don't want to have too much. So I think Joe Whitt has that right level of energy and is going to do a good job with this defense and getting them right. Whitt said Ford's getting better and has a good skill set. Talk about Luvu, Jamin Davis. They talked about Bobby Wagner as well. So a lot of different things you see there. I think we're going to wrap it up there. I know it's all over the place. Just trying to give you guys some information from today. I know a couple people have been asking about OTAs and stuff. So even though there's not a ton of stuff, just some interesting tidbits and a couple clips you got, or I guess just one clip you saw from practice and then one clip from the press conference. But if you guys stay till the end, go ahead and comment. Let's go Robert Kelly, Commanders running back, or Redskins running back from what, like 6 years ago? I feel like 6, 7 years ago. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys